Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the first ever Preparing for Disneyland. So, as the name suggests, this is a series where I teach you how to prepare for Disneyland. Later in the series, I'm going to be diving deep into every attraction, every land, and even every restaurant. But for now, we're going to be covering the basics. The pre-Disneyland trip. What do you need to plan before you actually get to the park? This video is going to be split up into 3 parts that will be written right here with time cards below them for you to skip over one that may not be necessary or to skip to one section that you're super excited about. Okay, so section number 1, budgeting. I know, money, logistics, nobody wants to talk about it, but it's obviously a huge factor in planning a Disneyland trip. So first off, let's talk about the most important thing, tickets. You can get tickets directly from the Disneyland website. It's super easy to use. You put in how many people are going, what their ages are, and you get a price. If you want to go for less days, if you want to take less people, if you are under the age of 10, this price will change. But, pro tip, it's cheaper to buy it at the Disney store. Like $30 cheaper. Okay, so you got the tickets, you can go into the park, but now you need a place to stay while you're in Anaheim. So what do you do next? Well, that's your decision. Do you want to go to an official Disney hotel or do you want to go to a regular hotel? Personally, I would recommend regular hotel. It's a lot cheaper and you're still getting to go to the park every day. But if you do want to spend money on the official Disneyland hotel, it is totally worth it. I've stayed at one before. It is amazing. The experience is extraordinary. But I would say if you're trying to save money, go with the regular hotel. It's a better deal. You didn't hear it from me, but Candy Cane Inn is like the best one. Okay, so you got the tickets, you got the hotel. What about food? Well, Disneyland's website actually has a very detailed menu for each of the restaurants in the park that you can check out and you can make your budget around. Okay, so you got your tickets in your pocket, you left your hotel, went to Disneyland, you ate something there because you budgeted your food right. But now what do? You buy souvenirs. Duh! Okay, so there's not actually many tips that I can give for souvenirs other than plan big. You want to aim high when you make your budget for souvenirs just to make sure you have enough. Cause like Tsum Tsums, these little things, these little tiny little things are like $5, upwards probably like $7, almost $10 at Disneyland. I'm pretty sure this dude was like 30. Souvenirs can get really expensive at Disneyland, so shoot really high, okay? Okay, planning for the inside of the park. First thing that we need to talk about are fast passes. Fast passes are wonderful. Whoever came up with them, I love you. So fast passes are these magical little tickets you get telling you to come to a certain ride at a certain time and skip the line. It is so great because sometimes the Disneyland rides can get ridiculous. They can be like hours long, so you definitely want a fast pass. Okay, so here's how fast passes work. You take your ticket, you put it in a fast pass machine. Every ride will have its own fast pass machine. You can't use the Indiana Jones fast pass to get into Haunted Mansion, okay? So you gotta get the right fast pass machine. They're located next to the rides. You'll often see multiple signs telling you where to go, so you'll find them. I believe in you. But anyway, you put your Disneyland ticket into the machine and it gives you a fast pass telling you to come back between noon and 3 o'clock or something like that. It gives you a time frame to come back and you can skip the line. The thing is, you can only have one fast pass at a time in each park. So you can't get the Indiana Jones fast pass and then run over to Haunted Mansion and get another one. You gotta wait until you go on Indy, then you can go to the Haunted Mansion, okay? Okay, my pro tips. Separate your group to get fast passes. If there's a ride that you need to go on, like Radiator Springs Racers, that ride is ridiculously fun, but the line is super long. You wanna get your group to the park as soon as possible and send the fastest person to go get a fast pass. He can take all your tickets, he can get all the fast passes, come back, you guys will have a certain time to come back and you guys can hang out for the rest of the day until you get to ride your ride and you get to skip the lines and point your tongue at the people in line. So the same thing goes for fireworks. You want to have one person in the group that's willing to sacrifice themselves. You want to have somebody save you a spot for the fireworks because if you don't, you will be standing and it's a long fireworks show. Again, pro tip, don't try to get close to the castle. You want to be somewhere in Main Street because there's some awesome projections that go on the sides of the Main Street buildings and there's like snow and fake seaweed. It's great. You want to be in the street, okay? And then there's shows. Basically, the rule with shows is if you feel like you can miss it, don't watch it. Something else that I found to be super helpful is to make sure that you have a list of the top 3 things you need to do on your Disneyland trip. That way when you leave, you don't feel disappointed. But if this is your first time, you don't know what your top 3 list should be, so I have my personal recommendations for you right here. Okay, so here are my first timer must-dos. You need to get a City Hall button. City Hall is on your immediate left of the entrance to Disneyland. You just go in there, tell them it's your first time, and they'll give you this huge button saying it's your first time. It's awesome. Second, of course, get a picture with Mickey Mouse. Number 3, get a picture in front of the castle. Number 4, you have to ride the big 3. There are 3 major rides at Disneyland. It's Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, and Indiana Jones. You gotta get on them. You gotta. It's a Disneyland must. Something else that you gotta do is the Tiki Room. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of irritating, but it's a rite of passage. If you're a Disney fan, you gotta go in the Tiki Room. While you're there, grab yourself a Dole Whip. I heard the Dole Whip floats are amazing. It's basically a pineapple root beer float. Sounds disgusting, but oh my god, I heard it's like life-changing. Personally, I'm not too big of a fan of this ride, but I think a must-do in Disneyland is to go on Splash Mountain. Of course, you have to go see a parade or two. The parades at Disneyland are phenomenal. And then after that, watch the fireworks. The fireworks show is amazing. As I said before, you want to stay somewhere where you can see the sides of the building on Main Street. Trust me, it's great. Oh, and little tip. When Circle of Life comes on, you have to sing along. Okay, so that's it for Disneyland, but let's talk about my must-do list for Disney California Adventure. Okay, so Disneyland had a big 3, Pirates, Indy, and Haunted Mansion. But Disney California Adventure also has a big 3. It is Tower of Terror, California Screamin', and Soarin' Over California. Super great rides, they're all so much fun, but Tower of Terror is closing next January, so if you're going before then, you gotta get on the ride. Make sure to tweet me your picture at ZayDoesStuff, because I want to see your reactions to that ride. That ride makes me so happy, and I'm so sad it's leaving. After that, another must-do is The Little Mermaid. I absolutely loved this ride. Oh my god. One of the greatest things about it is that when you go under the sea, they make it cold because, you know, water's cold, but it's hot in Anaheim sometimes. And when you go into The Little Mermaid, it could be a lifesaver. So if you're ever hot, you're in Disney California Adventure, go on The Little Mermaid ride, trust your boy, it'll make you so much cooler. Okay, and the next one, oh, I love this ride. You have to go on Toy Story Midway Mania. It is great. It is this interactive kind of cart fair style kind of game. It is so good. So good. I had so much fun with my family on it. Make sure to ride it. And then while you're there, make sure to go on Mickey's Fun Wheel. I would say get the cart that moves. If you don't know what that means now, you'll know what it means when you get in line. But definitely go on the Fun Wheel. It's iconic. Make sure to get a picture in front of it too. Everybody gets that picture. So yeah. And then you have to go on Radiator Springs Racers. It is one of the coolest rides that Disney California Adventure has to offer. And it takes forever to get on because the lines are always super long. So you gotta like plan ahead for that one. But it's amazing. So that's it for my must-dos for first-timers. Let's talk about my personal must-dos. My personal favorite things at Disneyland. Okay, so we're going to start off with Disneyland. We'll get to California Adventure later. So first off, my all-time favorite ride there, Pirates of the Caribbean. Gotta go on it. Second, King Arthur's Carousel. Not too many people actually claim this to be one of their favorite rides, but I love this so much, especially at night. It's so, like, iconic. It's right smack dab in the center of Fantasyland, and it just makes me happy to look at. And of course, while you're at King Arthur's Carousel, you have to try to get Excalibur out of the anvil. I'll do it one day. I will. It will happen. While you're in Fantasyland, make sure to check out the teacups. I would say for sure, check out the teacups at night. It is so pretty. Oh my gosh. They have this whole Mad Tea Party kind of thing going on. That's why you're in the teacups. But they have these lanterns above the ride, and they're colorful and bright, and they just make your heart warm. And it's, I love it. It's like quintessential Disney magic. And then you gotta try Space Mountain. Not too many people like it. I wasn't very fond of it at first, but it's one of those things that you have to do to say that you did it. And I personally love it. I love the Star Wars update. Great ride. And you have to give a big old warm bear hug to Jimberly and Jefferly, the mannequins? What do you call them? Carvings? Wood carvings. They're Native American carvings, and they're like my favorite things there because they're so random. One is named Jimberly and one is named Jefferly. Jefferly's in Frontierland, Jimberly's on Main Street. If you guys go to Disneyland soon, give them a big hug and tweet the picture at me, again, at ZayDoesStuff. And then you gotta ride everyone's favorite train. No, Casey Jr., not you. Big Thunder Mountain. Is the train from Big Thunder Mountain Casey Jr.'s dad? Is it Casey Sr.? But yeah, Big Thunder Mountain is one of the coolest roller coasters at Disneyland. It's one of the only roller coasters at Disneyland. Make sure to go on it and tell me what your favorite part was. Is it the turtle gang? Is it the escaped convict goat? Or is it the dinosaur bones? And now, something very close to my heart. You have to try the Little Red Wagon corn dogs. They are life-changing. I'm like emotional that I can't have one right now. They're so good. Okay, so moving on to Disney California Adventure, Midway Mania. Obviously, one of my favorite rides there, if not my favorite ride. Nope, Tower of Terror is my favorite ride there, but Midway Mania is so close behind. It's so much fun. Another one that you have to do, because I still don't understand how it works, there's something called Turtle Talk. It's where you get to look at this giant screen. Well, it's supposed to be an aquarium. We'll say aquarium. You look at this giant aquarium and Crush from Finding Nemo talks to you, but he like actually interacts with you like in real time. And I don't know how it works because I had a conversation with him. Technology is scary. That's Disney magic. Aside from that, as I mentioned before, The Little Mermaid is a great ride. It cools you down and it tells a sweet little story, and honestly, I think it's my favorite princess ride, even in Disneyland. It's really good. It's cute. I like it. Especially in the Under the Sea number, and there's that sea turtle just going like this. There's like great animatronics, but then there's this super simple turtle just going like this over and over again. And he's iconic, and he's my queen, and I wish I could be every bit as cool as he was. And again, as I said before, go on Radiator Springs Racers. There's kind of a twist near the end, and just go on it. It's great. And while you're in California Adventure, there's no way that you can't check it out, but you really need to check out the Red Car Trolley Show. And of course, how could I not mention, you have to ride Tower of Terror. You guys, January is when it closes. You need to get on that soon. Tower of Terror is iconic. I don't think any other ride will ever beat it. It is my favorite ride, and I'm gonna miss it forever. But you gotta check it out. It's seriously one of the best rides ever. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope it helped you plan your Disneyland trip. Make sure to join me next week where I explain the different lands of the park. I'm gonna give you all the inside knowledge. But anyway, if you enjoyed, make sure to click like below, and while you're down there, subscribe if you haven't already. We have a great little family here, and you would look great in it, especially if you're a Disney fan. That's like all that I post is Disney stuff. But yeah, I'll see you next week with another Preparing for Disneyland video, and I'll see you tomorrow with a Friday Fun Day. But until then, go do some good stuff later.